What's Yeah. What's up, everybody? Hello, it's Friday. It's my day. Welcome to Williams World. I'm your host, Will I Am. Look at the cool shirt my boss gave me, Chuck. Uh, hey, before I get started, I got to introduce my main man behind the plan, Charles Briefly. Y'all know him as DJ Chuck B. What's up, Chuck?
What's up, Will? Hey, I'm excited about today's program as always. Every Friday is always something great. So, like I always tell you, if you rocking, I'm definitely rolling. So let's roll, baby.
All right. Today, we got three young ladies on here, and this is a topic that most don't talk about, but it needs to be addressed. It is single parenting. We're going to start from the top in the middle there with my special guest, Ebony, Alexis, Gilley. What's up, Ed?
Hi. How is everybody doing?
All right, all right. And next to Ebony, we have Miss Amber Hollis. What's up, Amber?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right, all right. And under Amber, we have former high school standout, Alicia Marshall. What's up, Alicia?
Hello. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Ladies, let's start with Ebony. Why don't you tell the audience something about yourself? Who is Ebony?
Okay. I am an educator. I'm the mother of two children who are 18 and 20 now. One, my 18-year-old has autism, and I like sports and I like Star Wars. There you go.
Hold up. You like football?
I like football. I'm a Packers fan. Go Pack.
Hey, Amber, how are you?
I'm doing well. I am a radio show host, online radio show host. Shout out to my co-host Sade, the Weekend Meetup. I have my own cosmetic line, and by day I work as a prevention specialist, educating people on safe sex practices. I have a small child. She is 5 years old. She is the light of my life. She drives me crazy, but I love her. And I love to watch movies. I listen to music.
Okay. What's up, Alicia? Tell us something about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Alicia, obviously. I am the mother of two children as well. My daughter is about to be 17 next month, and my son is 13. During the day, I work in the human resources information technology field. I love sports and I love 90s hip hop.
Oh,
It's the good stuff.
Watch football.
Of course,
Who your team?
I'm an Eagles fan.
Chuck. Anyway,
Hey, she's a good lady. Leave her alone. She's a good lady.
Packers before I be Steeler Nation all day long. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Before we go any further, we gotta give homage to our sponsor, the A Game. Chuck, you want to roll a commercial?
Yo, we're gonna get right into that right now, Will. And this is the A Game. This is our sponsor for today, and here it is. And that is our sponsor, the A Game. Give me a call. I have a couple free samples left. Give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. And this is for men only. It's great for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Women, we're working on something for you soon, so definitely check it. Well, when it comes out, I'll let you know what's up. But again, that's the A Game. So back to you, Will.
All right, we're gonna start off with like the obvious question. Give us the ups and downs of being a single parent. What is it like? How did you get to this point, and what is it like? Dealing with it's just basically you. How about this? We'll go in alphabetical order. Alicia.
I can't hear.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't
I'm
hear
sorry. I
it
had
either.
my mic off. My mic was off.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
I'm sorry about that. Well, after my now ex-husband separated, so I've been a single parent since 2009. Um, Kind of was shocking because I didn't see it coming at all, to be honest. But I will say this: um, it is very challenging when everything is on you to make sure things are done. So my daughter has epilepsy, so to stay on top of that, make sure she takes her medication so she didn't have an episode, and then she has ADHD too. So trying to keep her, focused on school, I keep up with their homework, any doctor's appointments, and things of that nature. So it's a lot. It's all on me to make sure that everything that needs to be done is done. And but on the flip side, it's actually very rewarding because I'm very close to both of my children. So although it's a lot, I'm very close to them. So I'm very appreciative of that. Through the years, we've moved around several places. We've lived in Texas, we lived in Maryland. Now we're back home. So it's just something it's a different thing every day. And I just keep pushing and keep encouraging my kids and let them know that I have their backs.
Okay. Amber?
Similar type of situations as far as just being a single mother and have to take it all on by myself. Um, my daughter's father, unfortunately, we just didn't work out. He decided to have a family elsewhere, which is perfectly fine. But that left me to handle everything on my own. I think a lot of people see the surface of it, oh, your daughter's dressed nice and she's in school and you take her places, but it's all the stuff that's kind of in between, those doctor's visits when they're sick, who has to call off work? I do. Making sure she is getting stimulation that she needs and taking her places and planning time and, in my schedule to spend time with her. Still try to have a social life, still try to spend time with friends and family. Trying to take all that on and still spend as much time with her, is hard. But you do get twice the love, twice the kisses, twice the time. She sees me working hard. I make sure she doesn't have to worry about what a struggle might look like. I always keep a smile on my face. And even trying to make sure she has room to grow, spending time with her friends or with her, her family, and then an extended family, So taking all that on and trying to stay positive and keep her uplifted and keeping her, active. It can be hard sometimes, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'll echo with Amber and Alicia that it's been very difficult being a single parent. You don't. My ex-husband, moved to California and hasn't seen the kids since. So it's like everything is on me. But it has been I have ADHD. My son has ADHD. My daughter has autism. So we have our little funky thing going on, but we've made it our own. Yeah. So I mean, it's difficult, but it's very rewarding at times.
Hey, and I'm chime in on this as well.
Who got their phone on?
Okay, I'm gonna chime in on this one as well. I was a single parent for a while there, and this was back in when I was a single parent. It was back in the '90s, so and it was really unheard of for a man to have his kids at that time. You know what I mean? It was like early. My son was born '90 and then '92, so at the time I had full custody of them around, let's say 92, probably 92, like 6 months. Probably my youngest son was 6 months when I got custody of both of them. So, it like you said, it's hard at times, but again, like I said, at that time it was unheard of for a man to have his kids. And I was pretty young. I was 19. I was actually 19, going on 20 when I had my first son. Actually, I turned 20 a week after he was born, and then I was close to 22 or going on 22 when my second son was born. So, I had fun, and my childhood was not childhood, but when you get in those 20s, you want to have your fun. I couldn't have that fun all the time like that, because I had to grow up really fast. You know what I mean? So, it was definitely rewarding, but like I said, it was challenging. But the great thing is I had my parents, I had my grandparents, everybody, they all helped with me, help with the kids. So it made it easier on me. That's why I have a soft spot in my heart for especially single moms. I know exactly how hard it is. I hear a lot of these dads out here complaining about, certain things as far as child support and stuff like that. But I understand if you're not doing anything, they have to do something. You have to do something. You just can't run freely like you have no responsibility. If you want, the law or the other man to tell you to take care of your children, then it is what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out there that, are bitter. A lot of women are bitter. A lot of parents are bitter, and they go after their, certain individuals just because of, personal feelings or whatever. But there is a lot of women out there, the majority, that are really doing what they're supposed to do, trying to negotiate, trying to talk to this guy, and it's just not working. So I have a soft spot in my heart for the women. I always did. Like, a lot of the guys would complain to me. I'd be like, nah, yeah, you can't come to me with, that, because I was in their shoes. So I know how hard it is to, just a little time. You know what I mean? Like, just to get that little bit of time to yourself is very important. And like, all that money and stuff really don't mean anything. But I get it. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, then what else are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, what can you do? Like, it's just crazy. So again, I commend all of the single moms out there, and just keep doing your thing, and stay focused. It all pays off in the end. I got my son now. He's my oldest son is 30. He'll be 31 this year. Then my youngest son, he's 29. He just turned 29. So I have 6 grandchildren. So it all pays off in the end. So that's all I have to say.
I will say too, another hard thing is when things, like I said, my ex left, just also trying to paint their father in a positive light, and not,
right.
It's very easy to say, I can't do something because your dad, but so I think that's been a hard thing, to just be, smile. We don't just have the money right now, or, just to paint their father in a positive light, regardless of my feelings towards him.
Now, you know what? It'll all come out in the end. Like, I tell people, don't bash the father, don't bash the mom, whatever. There's a mom or dad. It'll all come out, because I was dealing with the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna come get them this weekend. Okay, I will tell them. Next thing you know, she doesn't show up. So I was like, okay, guess what? From now on, when she tells me this, I won't say anything. If she shows up, she shows up. If she doesn't, she doesn't. So I would never say anything bad about her. But eventually, they start catching on and seeing what was going on, and you don't have to say anything. They'll figure it out themselves. So
I definitely agree with that. Like, I've always said, I come from a single parent home myself. I don't even know my father. He's deceased now. And I just met my siblings about a little over a year and a half ago, that they knew nothing about me, but I knew about them because my mother told me when I was younger that I had siblings. So I made up my mind that even if my ex-husband chooses not to be involved with my kids, I want them to form their own opinion of him.
Right.
My mother never talked bad about my father. So I never talked bad about their father, even though I feel that he could do more and be more involved with the children. That's his choice. That's something he has to live with. But he could never say it's because of me, because I would never keep them away from him. It's a choice.
Right.
And
I commend you for that.
Or it could simply be a situation, everybody's situation is similar but unique in its own right. For my situation, my daughter's father isn't involved at all. She's 5 years old, and if he went to go pick her up from school tomorrow, she would look at him like, who are you?
Wow.
So, having to even be a single parent before you even thought that was even something that could happen to you. Nobody wakes up saying, I want to do this by myself. Nobody says that. People want companionship. They want a family. They want somebody else to kind of help take over when times are hard, or even when times are great, So, having to not be negative or in a negative space for not only myself, but for my daughter, because her father has chose not to be around. So, those are some situations, for some women out there who feel like, wow, I'm doing this alone. I was a single mother before I even gave birth. So to already go into it knowing I have to do this by myself, is a lot to take on. And mentally, it takes it takes on its own thing. So being able to maneuver around that, for some young ladies who started off already being a single mom, kudos to you. Doctor visits by yourself, having your child by yourself, you definitely figure out who your friends are when you're pregnant, right? You figure out who's really there for you and who's not. And then the kids are actually here now, and now you really need help. So when you don't have, either, that co-parent or at least somebody else helping you out in between times, it can get really hard. But, you count your blessings. And, I've always had open arms for my daughter's father. If he decides he wants to, show and prove, then okay. But at the same time, I also have to protect her and make sure she knows that she's loved, whether he's there or not.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to commend all three of you ladies, because I'm going to tell you something that's not so common these days. None of you bashed nobody. Usually it's a horror story behind the single woman parent. It's usually a horror story. He ain't, you know what? He didn't do that. None of y'all did that. My mother and father separated. Me and my brother, we were teenagers. My mom never badmouthed my dad, though. Like, what y'all saying, and that mean a lot. We had to form our own opinion. He was around, but he wasn't around. You know what I mean? He was reachable, but let me put it that way. You know what I mean? But my mom never badmouthed him, and that meant a lot. And I commend y'all on that, because like Chuck said, it's a lot of not just women, men too. But that's the big misconception is the consensus theory says only women are bitter. That's not true. There's a lot of bitter men out here too. I'm gonna sit here and tell you that it's a lot of bitter men. It go both ways. I commend y'all because none of y'all sound bitter. All of y'all sound like, you know what? Let me put my big girl shorts on and we're gonna do this from the muscle. that is half the battle right there. I commend y'all for that.
Well, definitely.
Thank you.
Putting out that negative energy that doesn't help my kids.
Right.
A lot of people said, for 3 years my ex didn't pay child support. People said, you need to go fight for it, and I just said, you know what, what putting all that negative energy and time out, all that does is drain from me, and it takes away from my kids. And everybody, I believe in karma, and everybody gets what's coming to them. So I don't have to take that role on.
Right. Yeah. That's true, because it will come back around. Trust me.
But you have these little humans that are watching you. They're watching the moves that you're making, the decisions that you're making. Decisions that you make don't affect just you. So they affect the people around you, especially your children. So, knowing that I had her, watching me and paying attention and listening, I had to be mindful of how I reacted to certain things. I've dealt with court, in and out of court, back and forth, and some of the family knows, some of them don't know, and at the end of the day, she is what I'm here for. She's my purpose. So focusing on that negative stuff, like you said, and trying to bash him and trying to attack him and come for him and showing up at his job, nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that. So putting your energy into your kids and your situation is like the best thing, I think.
And you said it right too. You said, not putting that negative energy out there for your kids, because at the end of the day, the kids are the ones that suffer. You know what I mean? You might be mad at him or he might be mad at you, but it's not even about y'all at this point, because once you have that baby, your needs, his needs are really it doesn't matter anymore. It's about that kid. You know what I mean? So again, that's great that you didn't take her around that negative stuff, because that definitely will affect them. And seeing all that negativity, I mean, it hurts. Because they want to be they want to be with their dad, they want to be with their mom, they want to, they want the family structure. But again, if y'all not getting along, that's it's just a hurtful situation. But like you said, you stay positive and you try to be positive, and it helps out. It definitely does. So I'm sorry, Alicia, was you ready to say something? I think I might have cut you.
That's okay. I just remember growing up and how my mother was regarding my father, and because she wasn't so negative, did I think I'd be in this position to be a single parent? Absolutely not. Did I think I'd ever get divorced? Absolutely not. But one thing that rang true for me was my mom used to say to me, it's better to have one good parent than two bad parents. And that
Yeah.
she took care of me and my sister, you know, and we both turned out well. We, you know, we were the first two to go to college and get her degrees, and she was the only one that's a single parent. You know, she poured into us, just like I'm pouring into my children. And I'm being the best mom I can be to my children. You know, their father is their father, you know, and whatever opinion, as I mentioned before, that they get from it, that's their opinion. It won't be anything of me. If he ever wants to talk to me, you know, I talk to him. If he wants to see the kids, sure, see the kids, you know, things of that nature. I wouldn't keep my children away from their father. I just don't feel that, because that looks bad on me. And my kids would say, Mom, why would you do that? And that's the last thing I would do.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know what? I want to touch on something Amber said that gets thrown under the carpet so much about the little human thing, the little humans thing. A lot of people don't realize, or they seem to forget, kids are tape recorders. That's all. They do what they see us do. You know what I mean? So that you nailed it when you say you got to be mindful of what you do in front of them, because a lot of times, you got a lot of unruly kids, and the consensus theory is they come from a broken home because it's a single parent. That's not necessarily the case, because there are some good single parents. We have 3 here. There are some good single parents, but this rolls into my next question. It's like, especially for you, Amber, because you have, and Alicia, one of yours is younger, and Amber, you have 3 younger. What do you do to combat these times? We have so many negative platforms out here. Because a lot of times the music, the social media, the anything on TV has a stronger influence than we do for some reason. Like, how do you combat that? You know, like a lot of these young guys out here run around, you know, doing these, like, shooting and stuff. It's stuff they see on TV, you know, and it influences them more than we do sometimes. So how do you combat that? Because I know you're all 3 of you are wary of it, and you paying attention to, like, whoa, what's this on TV? Because, you know, not to bash anybody's preferences, but a lot of same-sex stuff is on TV now. I mean, it's here, it's in your face. So how do you combat that? How are you, like, staying aware of what your children are watching?
I know Alicia and I have talked about this, especially with our boys, is that I'm going to say we're over involved, but when they want to sit and talk about Minecraft for 3 hours or watch a Minecraft video, or my daughter wants to watch, you know, somebody getting their hair braided, we just sit there and watch. So we're very active in their media, you know, and it's like, you know, when they want to watch YouTube, we're right there with them, or with, you know, we get their privacy, but overall we are active and we listen to what they say. And that works a lot.
I know for me,
Yes.
like Ebony said, I'm sorry, Amber, go ahead. Amber, go ahead.
No, it's okay, love. You can go ahead. Go ahead. Take it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just to piggyback off what Ebony said, for my daughter, she's a little older, but she's into anime heavily. So that's her thing. So, you know, she'll talk to me about anime. She wants me to watch anime. She draws. That's totally not me. She's totally not into sports like I was, like a tomboy. But that's what she enjoys. So I go where she is. I stay engaged with her because that's what I should do. My children don't listen to rap music. So they don't even really know about the radio because they listen to what I listen to. So I listen to a lot of 90s hip hop. Some, you know, I'm an old school, so I like Earth, Wind and Fire, and they listen to all that stuff because that's what I listen to. So that kind of shields them from some of this stuff. My son, he's into Marvel and DC comics and Minecraft and all that kind of stuff. So every Tuesday, Flash is on. That's me and my son. We're sitting there, watch all them about that. I don't necessarily know some of his games, but I'm monitoring what games he plays, like online play. I'm like, who are you playing with? I want to see their screen, see their screen name. And I have all it set up on his PlayStation where he can't play certain age ranges and things of that nature. And I just stayed really involved. So music wise, I'm not really concerned about that. They've grown up in the Christian environment as well. So they know God. They know what the expectation is. They know their foundation. So they're not really out and about. They're very mindful. They're mostly homebodies, mostly my daughter. But they have a small group of friends, and I know their parents. That's how involved I am. I'm like, I need to know their parents. I need to talk to their parents. I need to see what environment they have, where they come from, before I let you go over there. Things of that nature. So I'm like really involved with my children, so they can talk to me about any and everything. And with my son, we talk about what's going on with guarding, the black man being shot, and excuse me, the different things that happen. And I'm trying to prepare him at 13. The cop stops you. These are conversations that I have with him all of the time, and he gets frightened. But I'm like, I'm not here to frighten you. I'm trying to enlighten you. So I need to let you know. Look, you have to be prepared when you go out here. Like, you have to be prepared. So don't talk. Call your mother. Like, these are conversations that I've been having since he's like 10 years old, because I have to prepare him.
Yeah, you're right. And just to piggyback off your music, 90s was the best hip hop and R&B ever. There's no debate. I don't care who you are, no debate. I was born 1970, so I got to see, the blues, the even country. So I appreciate all music, but the Earth, Wind and Fires, the DASs and stuff of that nature. So that's awesome. You're teaching them, because that music has some substance to it. So that's good. You're showing them the substance. I just feel sorry for these kids now, where their old school be Cardi B. I mean, not knocking, Cardi B, but I'm just saying there's really no substance there. I love Cardi B. Don't get me wrong. I love her music. I love, the beats and all that, the hooks or whatever. But at the end of the day, when we were coming up, we had music with substance, and it actually messed with your creative mind. Now they got it, and I can get deep into that. It's called frequency, but we'll talk about that later. But
how y'all just
if I get into that, that's another conversation. So that's good. Keep them listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You just want to disregard the 80s where it started, like from 85 on up.
80s too. 80s. I was there with the beginning of hip hop.
Okay.
So you were too. So
Absolutely.
So I got the chance to see everything evolve. So I was born in the right era. But again, you also said who have a son here? Anybody has? Amber, you have a daughter, right? Am I correct?
I did.
Yeah, daughter.
Okay, you have these two. Okay, Alicia. Okay, Ebony and Alicia. Okay, how is it raising?
Ebony has a son too.
Yeah, Ebony and Alicia. How is it raising a child that's going to be a man? Like, I mean, what are the challenges you face with that? Because I know there's some challenges you face with that.
I think my hardest problem at first was finding role models. I can show him how to shave, but I can't show him how to shave. Like, I can show him tie a tie, but I can't tell him, the ins and outs of that kind of, thing. So my father was huge until he passed away a couple of years ago. And then I have an uncle, and then I've had friends. And so things like that. I just try to find, strong black males to show them what it's like to be a man.
Okay, awesome. And are you, Alicia?
I have family, like older cousins and things of that nature, that I ask to work with him. And because, like Ebony said, the shaving and things and certain conversations I don't necessarily know about, because I'm not a man, but I do my best to try to explain from a female perspective what I know. Also, I try to just try to get in touch with his dad some, too. I just feel like I can do a certain thing. Like, even when it comes to me being involved with a man, I don't let just anybody around my children.
Right.
So if I do have a man in my life, I need my son to see how a woman should be treated, how his mother should be treated.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because if he sees me being mistreated, he's like, my mom's being mistreated. Like he's young, so he doesn't really understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To a certain degree.
Right.
So I'm very conscious of who's around them as well.
Yeah, nowadays you definitely got to be on point with that. You know what I mean? Because I was blessed. I had 2 sons, so it was pretty easy for me. You know, of course, I was more so the disciplinary, more so. I mean, and I had my nurturing side as well because I had to have both. But as always, well, they had their aunts, they had people around that gave them that too. So it was they got both. But I was just curious, how it is raising a young man, because I know it would be hard for me to raise a young girl. I don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? And especially nowadays, it is so bad out there. Like I wouldn't even want to have a daughter right now. Like it's like wow. And I mean, of course, the young men, we go through our things as far as the cops. You said it. We were going through when we were coming up. We used to always get pulled over. In certain townships, at one point I got pulled over 12 times in one township. I used to count them. They knew my name, but they would pull me over and say, Chuck, let me see your license and registration. I said, man, you keep pulling me over every time. And they used to harass me all the time. I didn't know I was being harassed. I just said, well, this is just a part of life. I just kept it moving. But we've dealt with that all of life. And you tell this story to certain individuals and certain ethnicities, they can't believe it. They're like, are you for real? I said, I'm telling you, if we ride down the street, we are going to get profiled. It's just that simple. I don't get it now like I used to get it, but back in the day, oh my God, they used to kill us going through these different townships, So, yeah.
Right. And I was going to bring that up to the ladies. You think that's brutal trying to raise a young boy to be a man? I got daughters too, but I didn't have to deal with the single thing. But I asked the guy, but he couldn't come on because he had to work, and he got 2 daughters. And I had to ask him this question, and it's strange. How do you discipline a daughter? You being a guy, because I hear stories. My parents back in the day, my mom, my aunts, and stuff, they got beatings. I get that, but not today. What do you do? I mean, because it's okay for y'all. You can spank your son. That's okay, but are we to spank our daughters? Especially when they get to that certain age, you know what I mean? And then please disregard Chuck's story about us and the cops. I was at Bible study, so he
That's right. I forgot.
I believe you.
Yeah.
That's where he was at.
When I was 39, and I'm 37 now, so he lying. But I mean, that's a tough thing to do there. I mean, just being a single parent, period. But yeah, being a woman and having boys raising them to men, yeah, that could be a tough cookie, especially if you don't have that family structure. Like Ebony said, her dad being there, and having men in the family, because that is the center stone for a lot of these wayward young men that's running around out here today. Not in no way, shape, or form am I like bashing any kind of females when I say this, but a lot of times the females baby the young men and they get spoiled. And that's what happened. Then they grow up, I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? They had that kind of attitude. Me, listen, if you can get a beating with it, I got a beating with it. A switch, a belt, a tree, whatever. And after about 900 beatings, it's sunk in like, all right, I'm not going to do that no more. So, men job, for raising your boys to be young men, because that's tough. That's tough. Just being a single parent, period, is tough. But that, God, geez, that turns the molehill into a mountain. But I commend y'all for what y'all do.
And I like to say this too. I know you always hear, and I commend y'all because none of you said this. None of you said, well, I don't need a man to help me raise my child. You understand what I'm saying? Me personally, I know a two-parent household is definitely important. And I commend anybody that's doing it on a single-handed basis. What do you feel about a 2-parent household versus a one? Are you for a 2-parent household? That's what I'm going to ask you, ladies. Are you for the 2-parent household, number one? Or do you feel as though, like I hear sometimes, I could do it all by myself? I don't need a man.
I mean, for me, I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents were married. So, I got to see what that looked like, and what marriage was and what it meant to them. So, I always kind of modeled my life after that. I definitely believe in marriage. I would love to get married one day. But I also know that that's not always for everybody, so, and that's okay too. That's okay too. It doesn't make you any less of a family or a family unit just because you aren't married. People do what's best for them in their situation. But ultimately, and let me say this real quick. I'm sorry. And even just when women say, well, I don't need a man, it's not so much, at least for myself, it's not so much like, oh, well, I don't need a man, or I don't want a man around and I can do it all by myself. It's the feeling of I can do it by myself. And I have been doing it by myself. So it's not so much this man just going to walk in and save the day and everything is, peaches and cream. That's not really the case. Now, you do have some women who are like, I'm independent and I don't need no man for okay, fine. You just be alone with your cats and be by yourself. That's fine. But then there's a lot of women who are like, no, I want that companionship. I want somebody else to feed off of, somebody else to give me some input and advice and to help me discipline and to help me maneuver in this crazy thing we call life, So it's not so much about, what you don't want from a man, or a man can't do this, that, and the third. But if you've already been doing it and you know that you're capable and you can do it, that's kind of where that, that saying kind of stems from. Is just, I can still do it. That's like when a girl goes out and is like, I don't need you to buy me a drink. I can buy my own drink. Of course, I would love for this man to buy me a drink, right? But I can still do it. You know what I mean? I can still do it if need be. So, for a lot of women, they want someone to share those things with, But if you're not showing up and doing what you need to do, not only for yourself, but for us, because, women with kids, we're a package. It's not just me that you're with and that you have to, impress or provide for. It's this little person I have with me too. So, that's just my take on it.
Oh, that's awesome. I was just asking the question because that was a perfect answer. Anybody else want to chime in on that one?
I'm definitely, I think with the 2-parent household, it definitely shows both sides, male, female, or, just that even if it's a same sex, couple, that there's a balance in how people, how you compromise and all those things. Whereas me as a single mom, it's just mom's way, like, it's a dictatorship. So they don't get to see all of that. And I grew up, as Amber did, in a 2-parent household, and there's certain things that I wish my kids could experience that they aren't experiencing, but at the same time, we just make it work.
Yeah. Alicia, you want to chime in on that one there?
Sure. I mean, I'm the only one on the poll right here who has raised in a single parent home. So I didn't have that experience. It was all my mother, and my sister that I grew up with were 8 years apart. So I didn't really have that sibling thing either because we were so far apart in age. But I had my grandfather, who I spent so much time with, my uncles, as well. So I didn't feel that I didn't have a good man around. I just yearned for my father. You know what I mean? Because I had a lot of questions growing up, like, why did he leave? Like, what did I do?
Right.
I took that personally growing up. Like, what was so wrong with me that you just, left me? What did I, why did you do that to me? Regardless of what happened between, you and my mom, why did you leave me? And like I said, my siblings that I just met, they knew nothing about me. And he actually told them, he had no other children. And there was me.
Wow.
You know, so my
Yeah.
experience was different now. When I was as an older, when she told me, my sister told me that, it didn't bother me because it was like, I'm 48 now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if I'd have been crushed.
Yeah.
I really been crushed by it. But so my experience is different. But I had a lot of male influence because, like I said, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. I was with my grandfather almost every day. So, you know, he helped me with school and college, and, you know, so I had a lot of great experience with it. I just didn't have it in my home per se.
Okay. Awesome. Hey, Will, we got a lot of questions here with comments anyway. And let me see. I'm gonna get right to them. We got Izzy Meditate. She says, "Hey, beautiful." She talking to the ladies out there. What's going on, Izzy? Thanks for tuning in as always. And we got Kendra Moore. Hi, beauties. Hi, Will and Charles. What's going on, Kendra? Thanks for tuning in. That's the Feel Good Talk family right there. We also have Izzy. She says, "Amber, yes, Amber, great point." She was talking when you were, kicking that knowledge, Amber. There you go. And she says, "Hey, Ken." Okay, she's speaking to Kendra. And Kendra, like what you said as well. She says, "Preach, Amber." We have Sheila Moore. She says, "Good evening, everyone." Good evening, Sheila. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciate the support. Kendra says, "What's up, sis?" And Breon Nichols is watching. And Izzy says, "Hey" to Breon Nichols. So I'll just get into everyone out there before those comments had gotten stale. I don't like them to get too stale. You know what I mean? So.
And made a great point, like Kendra and Izzy was saying.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, a woman in a good position, I mean, it's a double-edged sword because if she's in a good position, I don't need no man. I got a good job. I got batteries. I'm good. When a good man comes along, you don't know it's a good guy because you stuck that in your ways. You made a great point about that. I mean, I'm being truthful. It's the truth. It worked both ways, though. The guys too. Like, you got a guy, he's a single parent, because he's doing so well, and he feel like he's doing well. The right one might come along that can help you blossom together. But he like, nah, I'm cool. I've been doing it, and that's a bad attitude to take. But at the same time, you also made another great point. Y'all made a great point. You gotta watch who you bring around your kids as well.
Yeah.
You better watch who you bring around your kids because there's a lot of sickos here, men and women. We see a lot of horror stories on the news, and it makes us kids even more. So, and Alicia said something that me and Chuck, we grew up with our parents, our friends. Our parents knew each other. You gotta know who your child is.
Exactly.
It's especially coming up in these times. You got these Columbine kids. You got kids going to schools with guns and making bombs and stuff. So you better be careful.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Your child could be in your basement with Simon Bar Sinister making an atom bomb. You don't even know it. You don't know it. So it's good to know, who your child is with in their surroundings, because a lot of times it's always that one. Okay, Alicia and Ebony, your sons, they got a good group of friends to your knowledge, but it's always that one problem one, and they always look up to them for some reason. I don't know what it is, and they want to follow them even though they're doing dumb stuff. So you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff too. So I commend y'all because everything's going right so far, and I hope it continues to go right. You know what I mean? So keep doing what y'all doing because it's nasty out there.
Yeah,
very nasty. Well, it can.
One of the things that I did, and my parents did, I didn't get it at the time. They made my house growing up the cool house, so everybody wanted to come over. And I realized when I got older, they wanted to see who my friends were. So that's what, and it was funny. I met one of the parents last summer. My son organized everybody to clean our garage out. These kids must have been extremely bored because they got a dumpster and they decided they would clean the garage out. And I ran into one of the parents and they said, my son keeps saying he's over cleaning your garage out. I bet you they're smoking pot somewhere. And I said, no, actually, they are literally cleaning out my garage. And I know because I'm there. And, that was just something I said, I'm going to make my house the cool house. They sit and play video games, and I see who's who and, who's not who.
That's awesome. I like that. Yes. I kind of sort of had the same thing. I used to have the kids come and work out at the house all the time. So I actually had a schedule. So the kids, they would come over at they had to go home and do their homework first. So they would come over at 5 because the adults would come over at 4 because I would train the adults at 4 to actually 3:30 to 4:30, something like that. They would come over around 5:30. But they had to have their homework done and all that stuff. The grades had to be set, but it was just the way, like you said, to see exactly who my kids were hanging around, and you'll be surprised. They used to love just coming. That was the house. Everybody would come to our house all the time. So until this day, I get to see how they grew up into great young ladies and great young men, and it's just amazing. And it was one thing I did. Well, I want to go on to Amber and Alicia first before I go into the next question about the question we just talked about. I don't want to, I want to go into that one first before I go to the next question. Did you have anything to add to that, Amber or Alicia?
I'm sorry, as far as?
Yeah, that last question, Will. What was the last question? Because I just jumped on here and was talking. We were talking about the cool house, seeing their friends.
Well, that actually, I got off what Alicia said as far as what we talk about, Amber, is, well, I mean, you might not be at that stage yet because you're still a baby, generally. She's 5, right?
She's 5, yeah.
Okay.
But no, even as far as knowing the parents and parental advisory type stuff. Oh yeah, well, my daughter's 5 going on 15. I should have said that first. So yeah, she's not 5. She woke up 15. So she knows everything, and she's really into just fashion and music. Like, she loves all those things. She's very girly. So she everybody's her friend. I mean, even my friends are her friends. So but no, I do have to be mindful and watch over her too, because she has a lot of cousins, and a lot of her cousins are a little bit older. So they're doing different things, right? They're doing different things. 7, 8, and 9. That's still like a big jump from 5. Like 5 is like a baby. Like 8 and 9, you can leave them in the other room, and that they're going to, what I mean? You can kind of just look out for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look out for them. They can get themselves dressed in the morning. They can do all that. But, I have to watch what she's watching, what she's doing. Who are your friends? I need to know your friends, because I don't know what they do at their house, and because she is 5, she gets a lot of invites to the little birthday parties and the skating rink parties and, all that stuff, bowling parties. So a lot of times I'm like, well, who's the mom? And I need to see her. I need to meet her. Where is she at? Is there a daddy around? Is there not a daddy around? Who's going to be at that house while you're over there? Know? And because she's 5, of course she doesn't understand, right? She's like, well, they're my friends. I just want to play with my friends. Yeah, but I don't want their parents playing. I don't know what they do over there, So just being more vigilant about that, asking questions. I know I was at an age where my parents were the same way. They knew everybody in the neighborhood. They know whose parent was who. When you had the cookout, you invited them, just to keep tabs, like, so, same thing like with sleepovers, the sleepovers were like the big thing. Who's there, who's not, who's leaving early, who peed their pants and had to go home, like all of that, so I definitely pay attention to, her friends. And even now, like you said, these kids are a different breed of kids. They're different. And, something she comes home saying certain things. I'm like, where did you learn that? Like, where did you get that from? Because we don't do that in this house. We don't say those things in this house. So, just being really active in the stuff that she wants to do and the stuff she wants to do with her friends, and making sure that everything is copacetic before she goes to these parties and goes to people's houses.
Exactly.
Sure. You got to stay on top of it.
Yeah. It's a thin line, and God forbid this happen to any of us, but we're all leery or have been leery, with the smaller children, Sometimes it's the ones that you've known all your life and trust. You take your kids somewhere and you're like, okay, I trust them. You turn around and one of the parents is a weirdo and you never knew it. Their hands, they want to play touchy feely and stuff like that. You see it all the time on the news. So sometimes, you got to keep a pair of bifocals on and eyes in the back of your head and constantly, be wary because you never, we all work. You could be sitting right next to Jeffrey Dahmer and don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. The situation never presented itself where they can be exposed. So that's another thing that why, like y'all, I agree 100 times, and I echo that sentiment. You gotta know who your children's friends are and who their parents are, because it's not just weird kids come from weird parents. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's true. And before I had that age brain fart, what I wanted to ask was, we have a big problem now. Is worldwide, especially it's worldwide, I guess, about this bullying thing. Have any of you ever had to deal with that? With any of your kids at this point? Anybody?
I did.
You didn't? Who? I'm sorry. Who's that?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did. Yes. That's one of the reasons we left Texas.
Wow.
My daughter, she was in 6th grade at the time. It just got really bad. Like taking her book bag, stealing her stuff, and the school wasn't doing anything about it, and it kind of it bothered me, of course, 'cause that's my daughter, but it impacted her more because it was directly happening to her. And to try to have to, and sending her to school and how is she going to be when she gets home? And, somebody stole her phone and it's just, it was just a lot. So that was one of the reasons why we left, because I came back home to be around more family. And if I can't get to the school, somebody else can get to the school.
Right.
If something happened. So just with her, I mean, she doesn't really have that issue anymore, but she did when she was younger.
Yeah.
My son never. Nobody bothers him. They bothered her.
Wow. Anybody else, Amber or Ebony?
Nothing as far as bullying, but because she is at that age where she's learning about skin tone, right? She's 5, so age appropriate to call somebody peach who's might be white and somebody that's like brown or chocolate and they're black. So, some of the kids, she goes to a predominantly white school, so a lot of the kids don't look like her. And her learning what brown means and what black means to her. And some of the kids, they're learning that, oh wow, she is black and her hair is different, so just those things. But again, I feel like it's age appropriate for kids at that age to be learning about race and what's white, what's black and brown and yellow and stuff like that. But she does bring up those questions, why is my skin like this? Why is my hair not like hers? How come I don't have blue eyes? So we have those conversations. You wouldn't think so soon, but it definitely comes up from time to time, and we have to have, those talks.
Yeah, that's definitely important, and keeping them grounded too. Not to forget, because a lot of times when you go to these predominantly other cultural schools, I'm just say that you tend to forget who you are and where you come from. So, how do you keep her grounded in her roots? You understand what I'm saying?
We have a lot of black and brown doll babies in the house, a lot of black and brown books that we read together where the little girls in the book look like her. I actually got her a book for her birthday, and I think for Christmas also, of her actually illustrated in the books. So we got to see her puffs and her afro and her natural hair. We watch a lot of shows where she loves musicals, so we watch musicals with black people in it. So just keeping, black representation, it matters. So, her being able to see people that look like her and, may dress like her or have hair like her, their mommies look like me. So, keeping her grounded in that way, and just let her know that, her brown skin is beautiful and her hair is beautiful the way that it is. And that it's okay to have different complexion friends, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as they treat you good, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's definitely that's awesome. Love to hear that. Hey, we got some more comments, and then we have I guess we could start here because Will was talking about batteries, and you got people out there laughing, man, with that comment you had. Izzy says batteries. Breon says, "What's up, y'all? What's going on, Breon? Thanks for tuning in." Izzy says, William, yes, that's the truth. You have to be very careful who you bring around your children. Yes, it is, Izzy. Definitely. Also, Kendra says the cool house. I think my parents pulled that trick on me. Hey, Kendra, what you had, the cool house? Let us know. And Izzy says, I love that. Making your house the cool house creates a bond with your children and their friends. That is definitely true because I had a bond with all the kids in the neighborhood. I didn't have to worry about anything. Something went down, I knew about it. So that was a good thing. And Kendra Moore says, harder with social media to keep track of friends. But my son will say to his online friends, tell my mom hi, which is good because it shows them that he and I have a good relationship. Now, when they hear my voice, they will say hi. They even wish me happy Mother's Day. Point is, for a single parent's got to stay present and set that standard. Yes, indeed. That is definitely true, Kendra.
Yeah, we had
And she says, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
we had the pool house growing up. Everybody in the neighborhood was at my house, and to this day, you know, all of my friends, the ones that still living, you know, lost a few, they still call my mom, you know, and they still come visit. And where your mom? I need to see your mom. This is your mom. We didn't realize it till later when we all started having children, how much that meant because it strengthened all our relationships and it made us a bigger village because now all the parents knew each other. You know, they all became friends. You know, it was like an extra set of eyes everywhere you went because you need that. Because I mean, well, now opposed to then, like when we were younger, you can go anywhere. Chuck, you remember? Look, we have parties in Chester. We would walk from one end of Chester all the way to the other end with no problems. We didn't worry about that. Now, you know, your kids say, I'm going to go here. You work. Like, hold up. Where you going? You got to worry about it because you don't know now. You don't know. It's not the same. I mean, people say the times have changed. The time don't change. Times stay the same. The people change. A lot of these people have changed. You know, their concepts, their morals. A lot of people don't have morals no more. You know, and a lot of these children that we see that are wayward are children that of people we grew up with. And you think you go, well, wow, I see why he act like that. I see why she act like that. You know, so I mean, just keep doing what y'all doing, and then hopefully it'll spread. You know, get contagious. Hopefully you three will link up and be a force and keep adding on and adding on. You know what I mean? And it just becomes a bigger unit. You know, we got to save our kids. We got to, and we got to strengthen these single parents. You know, it is what it is. I mean, y'all strong as is, but nothing wrong with having a little more strength behind you and a little more knowledge because that's the kid. Because that's how nothing better than life to teach you. Nothing. You know?
There you go. Yep. And Kendra says, my son went through hard bullying too. I moved from the school and a single woman raising a boy is tough. If I had a male partner, I probably would have left him because I would have had that support that could really speak to him from a male perspective. Last long post. It's all right, Kendra. Keep them coming. We don't mind that. And she says, yes, the cool house till this day. They still tell me how much they love my parents. Definitely a blessing. And we have Sheila. She says, so true. Hubani. I guess she's talking about Hubani. Yeah. So thanks for the comments. We definitely appreciate it.
But she'll help raise me too. That's my cousin. She was you know, that my mom has a, you know, our family is a lot of us. And Sheila was always there. Sheila's like my sister / big cousin. They were all there. They helped because everywhere you went, we seen somebody we knew. So that's what that cool house and having that extended family does. It's that extra set of eyes in case, you know, your child wanders somewhere they ain't supposed to be. Somebody, hey, what you doing? Get your ass on. You know, more of that these days. We need more of it. You know.
And she also says, Hugh, she says to you, oh my God, I'm all jammed up over here. She says to you, she says, God bless you, three beautiful ladies, and stay strong. And she says, yes, absolutely. So thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah.
All right. This is awesome conversation. Anybody got anything else for us? Any would like to share any secrets to single parenting? Anybody got something for us?
To hide your candy, your goodies. You know, my son used to say, "Why are you in the bathroom so long?" That's where I would, hide those Three Musketeers in there,
Oh God. Exactly.
I'd say before you go in the house, stay in the car for a little bit, get yourself together, because you got to come down. Even if you have to eat when you want to get your food that you don't want to share, sit in your car, eat your food, so you won't be disturbed. But sometimes I get caught. My son will see my car and he'll come run out. I'm like, Dad, he caught me. But take that time for yourself, because you still need that too.
Right.
You need to have time for yourself so that you can be there for your children. If you're stressed out, it'll come out and it'll impact them. So you take that time for yourself also. Self-care is very important. Self-care.
What you got, Amber?
I agree 100% with this. Look, I don't even know if this is a secret, guys, but it's been working for me for the last couple years. So once a week, or at least once a week, but maybe every other week, but at least, a couple times a month, me and my daughter do something called Mommy and Layla Day, right? And on certain days, she gets to pick what we do, right? If it's feasible, we do it. And on the next time around, I get to pick it. So that's where my self-care day comes in. Oh, Mommy wants to do nothing, so, I find something for her to do or something to keep her busy, and then I can wind down. I light my candles, and she knows that during this time, this is Mommy doing whatever Mommy's doing, and she's doing whatever she's doing. Everybody's happy. She has snacks, chips, she got everything she needs, so that's what I do. I try to carve out at least a couple times a month where she gets to pick something and I get to pick something. So, and mine's always like right on point, self-care all day. Yeah.
Hey, we got another comment. This is an awesome question here. Kendra Moore says, "What's the best part about being a single parent?" That's a good one. That's a good one. Anybody want to go first?
I will. Go ahead, Ebony. Go ahead, Ebony.
Okay. Not having to share the TV. It's my own remote. Not sharing not sharing the bed is nice, but sometimes you just want to stretch out. You don't want somebody slobbering on you, snoring. So sometimes that's really nice. But I think just being able to watch the TV, it's the simple things in life.
Anybody else? Come on, that was.
For me, and I mean, it may sound a little cheesy, but it is getting like twice the love, because she always knows I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like if she gets something, oh, Mommy must have bought me that, or if she's going somewhere, Mommy brought me here, or if I don't pick her up from school, why didn't Mommy pick me up? So it's like I love that she just wants me. So I enjoy that. Like it's really cool sometimes. Like I'm like the best at her. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I think that I piggyback off of what Amber said. I love my one-on-one time. I spend time with both of my children together and separately. And I enjoy that. I enjoy doing something that my son wants to do. Mommy, let's go see this Marvel movie. Okay, well, it's going to be me and you. This is our date. We're going to sit back. We're going to have food. We're going to have, watch the movie, eat popcorn or what have you. And then it might be my daughter, Mom, I want you to watch this show with me. Like that one-on-one time. If I had, if I was still married, whatever, it might not be as easy for me to have, to have that time, that individual time, the time we can bond and things of that nature. So that's a good part of it.
Yeah, I will definitely say that my son was homeschooled for a couple years, and being able to just say, hey, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. You want to go see a movie? And just being able to do that, just the two of us,
Yeah.
May not have, having somebody else may have said, well, I don't think that's a good idea,
Exactly. Cool.
Lisa, it's cool
Yeah.
that you and your son are in the Marvel. Chuck will tell you that's my favorite Marvel DC.
Yeah, we love Marvel.
But please do not curse him with that Eagles bull stuff. You two, Ed, don't you bring that Packer stuff around your kids. Don't do that to them. Don't.
He's a Lions fan.
He's a Lions fan. Her son's a Lions fan.
Barry Sanders was my guy, but the Pack, the Eagles.
Listen, I was a Reggie White fan. Sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm with you know what?
He did go to the Pack.
He was an Eagle. I understand. You know what I mean? That's cool.
It's not Throwback Thursday. Reggie has been long gone from the Eagles, so it's time for a new team.
Whatever.
I go through this with him all the time. Don't mind him. He's all right. He'll be all right.
I know he's a Steelers fan.
We beat them, so we didn't go through it. He said he's on strike from watching football.
Nah, I'm here. I'm here this year. This is on. It's on this year, baby.
It's on your TV. I want to thank you, ladies, for taking the time out to bless us with your presence, grace us with your presence and all our fans. And hopefully I heard some people out there learn, some other single parents learned and gained some knowledge from, everything you go through and, what you do for your children. And it's a real testament of your wills and what you're going through and that y'all maintain and standing strong, especially the part about not bashing the father, letting the kids form their own opinion. That's a beautiful thing. I commend y'all for that. And hopefully we got something coming soon. Me and Chuck are planning something from Feel Good Talk for the kids soon. So hopefully, we'll keep y'all informed, and hopefully you guys will be able to come through with the kids. Something like a cookout or something, some type of appreciation to let them, some incentive. Because a lot of people forget, the old school way incentive. One year my son wasn't doing too good in school. He wanted these sneakers. So you get your grades up, you get these sneakers. He turned into a rocket scientist. But it's a push, whatever it takes, So hopefully when that comes to fruition, we will contact you ladies. And hopefully you'll be able to come and bring your kids and we have a good time and learn some more. All right. Chuck, anything you want to add before we close shop?
No, I just want to say you can catch Feel Good Talk on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, on Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business, and at Instagram at Feel.Good.Talk. Definitely check us out. We also have some great programming during the week, and I'm going to get to that right now. Just bear with me. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go. We got live shows. We have Feel Good Talk Love 101. That's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. with my man Naeem Najib. Come check that out. Talking about the universal principles of love. Always a great show. Let's talk about it on Thursdays at 7 p.m. with Izzy Meditates and Kendra Moore. They always got something great going on. Williams World tonight, as you can see, Friday at 6 p.m. We're here all Fridays at 6 p.m. Williams World. Jamila J's Girl Talk is Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's coming all the way from California, but she'll be back in June. She's on vacation right now. We also have Gimme Some Sugar with Steven on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's coming our way through Arizona. So actually, he comes every other Sunday. So check him out every other Sunday. He's always got some great bakes. He's always making cakes, cookies, whatever. He's awesome. So check him out. And he does it live on his show. We also have pre-recorded shows, Mindfulness Mondays with Izzy Meditates. That's at 9 a.m. on Mondays. We have Words from the Heart with Sheena Gordine. That's on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. And we have More Life with Essential Oils on Wednesday at 9 a.m. That's with Kendra Moore. Check her out. She's always got something up her sleeve with some all types of different things that you can use with essential oils, or you can use essential oils for. And then on Saturdays, we have, this is for the kiddies, we have a Cassandra's Corner Saturday at 10 a.m. She always has some arts and crafts. She interviews young entrepreneurs. She does it all. So check out Cassandra's Corner. I don't know why I said world. Cassandra's Corner, Saturday at 10 a.m. So those are some of the shows that we do have here. Well, all of the shows that we do have here at Feel Good Talk. And we definitely appreciate all of the support from everybody that supports us. We got a couple more comments out there. We got Sheila Moore. She says, everyone have a great weekend. You do the same. Thanks for tuning in, Sheila. And Kendra Moore says, you too, Sheila. Okay, there you go. So I'm good. Any last comments? I know I had a lot there, but any comments from the ladies?
Y'all was talking about bullying. Can you be bullied by a teacher? Because every time I came with a big lunch, this teacher would always say, give me some or I'm going to paddle you. Now, tell my mom. You know what? That's another story.
Oh, God.
God bless and good night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay. Tore me up. Woo! Ladies, thank you for coming on. God bless and good night. See y'all on the next one.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming on.
Good night, all. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Bye.
You too.
Peace.